guys. Hi.
Hi.
Instagram people and hi Facebook people.
Hi.
Well, great to have all of you guys back here again, even though there's no one yet.
There's only me.
Okay. So I think today, it's going to be another session, like another webinar session. But I think one of the key things, just for you to know is that, and for everyone to know is that we are inviting back our alumni to actually share with you guys their own personal experience of their coding journey as well as what they are doing today. Because a lot of them, for example, Amin is doing great stuff out there. It's really exciting. And I think first thing first, before we even get started, I probably would need to say this. Well, guys, if you get 15 shares today, we are going to be giving out one of these shirts.
15 shares, make sure.
15 1.5, okay?
1.5.
15 shares, and you get one of this, right? Share with your friends and family, and we have been, I think so far we have given out 2. The last two webinars we have given out 2 actually. Very exciting times. So definitely really happy for all of you guys to be back here today. And today we are, having the topic of our webinar today is why you should learn to code.
Why?
Yeah, so why you should learn to code. And we actually asked people questions, and a bunch of them actually came back with questions on why they should learn to code. Right. So of course we want your opinion, Amin. So why not like this? Why not you just introduce to everyone about you, right? So let's get started.
All right. Hello, people. My name is Amin, so you can call me Amin.
Hi, Amin.
Yes, thank you. I am 27 years old now. I'm also the engineering lead in Vase.AI, which I'm handling the respondents platform right now. And I'm also an alumni in Next Academy. So my batch was last year, September.
Wow. That's almost like 1 year ago.
1 year ago.
Yeah, that's 1 year ago.
Happy anniversary.
So why not you tell us about what, first thing first, for a lot of people who doesn't know Vase.AI, why don't you tell us what is Vase.AI?
All right. So to put it into simple words, so our goal is to make data accessible for everyone. Okay, that does not mean only for corporate clients, but also normal people living their daily lives. All right. So by making it accessible, meaning that we give out quick responses for those that needed the data. Yeah. So that is what my company specializes in. Yeah.
So I think, to give you a quick case scenario, for example, if today you have a product that you want to sell, instead of waiting for 2-3 months before the data comes in, you can actually look for Vase.AI, and they would be able. You can get, I think, data as easy as 24 hours.
Yeah, you can get about 1,000 response in about 7 days a week.
Yeah, and then you can immediately make decisions if this thing is going to work or not.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think it's very interesting. And maybe you could share first, as a start, right? Can you tell us what were you doing before you actually learned to code at Next Academy?
All right. So previously I was a property agent, and so I was basically stationed in Klang Valley. So I did all those jual rumah and sewa rumah, all that stuff. And then I stopped because the market wasn't looking that stable, because it was before the pilihan raya? Election, yeah, that time was election. And then so I stopped, and then surprisingly I actually continued streaming in Twitch. So I was a gamer and I streamed on Twitch, make decent money but not so decent. And then I met a friend from Twitch, and she told me that actually there's more to life than just being inside your room, and you can also actually look out for things that you love to do. So what I did was I had a long drive back home, and then it struck to me that I wanted to learn programming. So I actually had this thought to learn how to code for quite a while. It's just that trying to start, it's very hard because if you're doing something alone, some of you would get it that if you're trying to start something by yourself, you don't have that much drive, that motivation. So started looking in the internet and I found X Academy. And then from there on, I made the call and everything. And here I am.
It's crazy. So 1 year ago, had you had any coding knowledge before you actually started?
No.
Okay, so
No.
zero coding knowledge.
Zero coding knowledge.
And then 1 year later, now you are a engineering team lead in Vase.AI.
Yes. Yes.
But guys, one key thing that you all need to know is the amount of effort that he puts in. It's crazy, okay? Salute you. Kudos to you, man. So maybe you could also share
Looking back,
the kind of time. You know, when we actually talk about eat sleep code, actually there's something missing over here. It's the eat sleep code coffee. Right?
I love coffee.
It's actually eat sleep code repeat coffee, right?
Oh yeah,
eat sleep code coffee and then repeat. Eat sleep code coffee and then repeat. That's life, man.
Don't pace, No, coffee, not coffee.
Yeah. So okay, guys, so I think there is a lot of questions that people are asking here,
Alright, sure.
and we want to be able to answer them. So the first one that someone asked was by this person called Jason Tan. So Jason Tan, we're going to be answering your question is there a higher demand for software engineering in today's world? So yes, let's just leave it to you.
All right. So my answer would be yes, because as we're nearing 2020, or as we're going further into the future, the demand for automation and all those are very high now, and software engineers plays a key part in that role. And so yeah, the answer is that yes, but you can also look into more, I would say, more positions other than software engineers. For example, you can also look into data analysts, you can look into data engineer, infrastructure engineer. Sometimes there are also called data architects, software architects, site reliability engineer, and so on. And what all of these positions have in common is, understanding problem solving, which comes from coding. Yeah.
I think right now, coding just opens up a lot of opportunities to a lot of people. So long if you could find a job that requires you to actually use your computer, well, then yes. Then it actually provides you a certain opportunity out there, right? Just like what we say, software engineering, like data
analyst,
stuff,
data stuff.
There are so many things that's starting out today, like VR, AR is all coming out as well. So a lot of opportunities, guys. But one key thing that you all need to do, or you all need to know, is the ability to code, the ability to communicate with your computer.
Yeah, problem solving
skills. It's so underrated. Problem solving skills.
A lot of people just undermine it, but actually that's the core thing.
Yeah. And actually this is a very interesting thing, because let's go on to the next question. So Yong Jack Low asks, can I be a successful coder by learning just one programming language such as Python? So repeat that. Can I be a successful coder by just learning one programming language such as Python? Your thoughts?
Well, yes, you can. But from there on, I would assume that in the future, you would not want to just learn one coding language. One day you will still feel like actually there's more to just learning one coding language. It's actually what kind of things that you want to solve with that code. Like, for example, if you want to learn, you want to start with Python, that's good. Python, aside from it being very, famous amongst engineers, it is also widely used in data. Data path.
A
lot of people build scripts to make their life much more easier. You can automate stuff. So yeah.
I think one key thing is also to talk about how do we define successful coder, right? So maybe for you, right? Now that you are also at a position where you can hire people, what do you look for in hiring someone?
Well, I usually would like to find people that can solve problems. In general, it's really about solving problems, regardless of any types of problems, even if it's not about coding. But for example, if you're fixing your PC, okay, and this is your first time fixing your PC, but overnight you just fixed it. So I want to know how you did it. Sometimes you would go to Google. Stepping yourself to go to Google is one thing that I look in, meaning that you can find a way to solve an issue. So when you combine that with coding, you're unstoppable. I would say, yeah, and I would look into that actually.
So basically, the way we decide, the way one of the key things we look into when it comes to a successful coder is the ability to solve problems.
Yeah.
And that's very, very crucial ability. So in terms of one programming language, one key thing I will say, when you have the ability to solve problems, programming languages is, I think, the easier part, right? Where it's very normal that so happily your company requires you a different language. You can still do it. If you decide to go on to machine learning path, then that Python will be it as well, right? If you want to talk about building things that are very scalable, then JavaScript, Node.js will be something to look into. There are a lot of things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For example, if you have already mastered Python alone.
Yeah.
For example, in the future, if there are other opportunities that require a different set of programming languages, you would have no problem, because by then you would know the concepts. You would know, basically, you will reach to a point where you think all programming languages is just the same. They all will be compiled into just 0 and 1s for a computer to understand. Yeah, and just different languages, just like Chinese, Indian, Tamil. Tamil, Melayu. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I think one key thing is this, guys. Until a certain point of time when you reach like him, right, you realize that all programming languages are pretty much the same, right? They are transferable. A lot of concepts are transferable. You find that you'll be able to adapt to new languages.
Different use cases.
Yeah, based on different use cases. So it's definitely, I think, some people will go like, oh, you know what? I need to. Actually, this one goes to the next very interesting question. Someone asked, No Faiz asked, how can you be proficient in a lot of programming languages, right? Yeah, so what do you think, right? When you say a lot of programming languages, I've seen some people who list down 10 different programming languages onto their resume, but that's about it. They didn't even use it for anything else. So what's your thoughts on people who, is there a need to learn so many programming languages? And to what extent do you think they should, use a certain language?
Right. Okay. So realistically, if someone would know, for example, 10 different programming languages, but sometimes it's usually not complete. Sometimes they would have 1 or 2 languages amongst that 10 that they really excel on, and that's good enough. But it really depends on use cases, and if you want to be proficient with all, a lot of coding languages, my advice is to start with 1, because from 1, then you can have the ability to learn new languages. Yeah, and start with 1.
Yeah, start with 1 first and use it well, right? Knowing the language is not enough, but you actually need to be able to know the language and use the thing.
You gotta use the thing, you gotta apply that thing, because this is what I usually tell my for example, I do come to pitches from in Next Academy, and I usually tell the graduates to say that if you want to learn more, you have to apply it, meaning that a lot of them would say they want to learn more, they want to excel in their skills more, they want to hone their skills before they want to take in a job. My advice is just go take a job, because once you're in that real-time situation, you will learn quicker and faster.
You're forced to learn.
You're forced to learn, and actually it's a good thing.
And the fire is under, within your ass, and you're like, I need to figure something out.
Yeah. So, yeah.
That's great. Guys, as mentioned, right, when we hit 15 shares, 15 shares, we'll be giving out one of this plastic eat, sleep, code, repeat
Yes.
shirt. So
Very
Yeah.
nice, the cotton. Like Louis Vuitton, seriously. No kidding.
yeah, so guys, keep a lookout for this. 15 shares and we'll be giving this out.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's just move on. But I want to ask you one thing, right?
Yeah.
So what is one thing that you have built that you're really happy about? Okay, what is one thing that you have built that you're really happy about? With code lah, like something that you have used with code and you're like, damn.
Okay, all right. There's quite a few actually.
Okay.
I'll just choose one,
Mhm.
which is my blog.
Okay, your blog.
It sounds simple. You can do it in WordPress lah. No. It didn't do it in WordPress. So I'll jump into technical. So I hope you guys won't get lost. But if you get lost, please let me know.
I will try to
And make sure to share.
to layman terms. Okay.
Yeah, make sure to share 15 times also.
Share.
So this is my third iteration of my portfolio, I would say, aminroslan.com. Okay. And then what I did was I built it with this library called React, and it is deployed onto Netlify. Okay, if you guys just follow on. And then for the blog part, it's kind of fishy because usually if you want to build a blog, you would need a database, you would need a backend, right? So what I did was I took the lazy way, which also solves my problem. I go to Google Cloud, I go to Firebase, and I set everything up there. And basically, I just build an app without the backend. So it's a serverless app, so which is my blog as well. Yeah. So that's one of it. There are also another app, but I don't think I'll just stick with one app.
So guys, if you guys are trying to understand what he's trying to say, basically for every blogs that you see out there, right, there needs to be a database that
A place to keep your
keep your content inside, right?
yeah.
So for him, because he's lazy to build that database to keep the content inside, so he decided to put it on the cloud. Right?
Yeah. Put it on the cloud. Also, it's free lah.
It's a free cloud lah. So
It's free
okay. So yeah, so definitely it's something that really excites you lah. This one.
Yeah.
One
I
of the
mean,
things.
okay. For example, if you guys see it as like something very small, kind of kecil, but actually, if you know how to build a blog and everything, right? If you get a freelance, if you're a freelancer and a company maybe wants to build the same thing, see the demand there. The demand is there. The demand is there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So someone asked, that's Kenny G asked, how can I start to learn to code by myself? And what do you think are the challenges?
All right.
Well, this is something both of us experienced because we tried learning to code by ourselves before. So why don't you start?
Okay. So, what would I advise to you is
Maybe instead of advice, just tell Kenny, how was it when you're learning to code by yourself?
Yeah. So yeah, how was it? Okay. Well, it was hard for me because that time was at Free Code Camp. No, not Free Code Camp. It was Code Academy. I was basically trying to learn this coding language, HTML. I couldn't even get to the second page because I was so demotivated. I just felt like sleeping. Look at the background. Oh, that's my bed. I'm just gonna continue coding in my brain. So that's me. So I couldn't have the drive. So what I would say is that try to find out what type of person you are. Are you a type of person? Try to study by yourself first. See if you can make it halfway and try to apply what you do. But if you can't, then it would be great to check out Next Academy because you have a mentor that will be there that would basically assist you along the way. Yeah, and that's what I did. I couldn't study by myself, I just went to some place that has great mentors like Audrey.
Well, I didn't teach lah. Okay.
You didn't teach, yeah.
Okay, I think for my experience is very similar with Amin,
Yeah.
right? So when I first joined Next Academy, I don't know how to code when I first joined Next Academy, and I was looking at these people learning to code, and they're building really interesting and cool stuff. By the end of the day, and I was like, damn,
Damn.
like if they could do it, I could do it too, right? But I didn't want to go to the boot camp. Like for me, because I was working at Next Academy, and obviously I was like, hey, I need a salary lah. Takkan I, take time off, right? So I decided to actually self-learn myself. And then I decided to learn Python. I said that, hey, if these people can do it in 10 weeks, I could do it in 10 weeks too. But
10 days. Okay.
With Python.
Okay.
And the first day was okay.
First day was okay, survived, okay.
Survived for a while, but I didn't understand everything. Okay, first day was okay. I went through the course. Wow, I remember going to Academy and every course was like, ding, you completed.
Oh yeah, that thing.
And it was very satisfying, right? Then reached the second day and I looked and I was like, shit, I don't remember a single thing that I learned on the first day. Right? I do not know why. So for me, for the longest time I thought that, after that, I think I tried for 1 week and then that's it. And that's it,
That's
it
it.
stops, right? And there wasn't any discipline and I don't understand anything. And then maybe I was very egoistic, I want to try it myself. So I never asked.
You were distracted lah.
Yeah, I was distracted.
When you were doing it, you were like, your head was like somewhere
in. But the thing is that I also didn't ask like the mentors of Next Academy because for me it's like I was telling myself I can try self-learning. And then I failed spectacularly. Okay. And then until one time I literally humbled myself down and say like, okay, you know what? You need help. Don't think that you're all so powerful, right?
Yeah.
And for me it was amazing, it was fun. I mean, having guided by mentors was really fun, right? So occasionally they poke you on certain things. Having a bit of pressure that helps, right? Because you feel accountable, you feel pressure to work. But the most fun part for me was my friends.
It's like doing a study group lah. When you were in school last time, right? So you guys are going through this exam. You guys did a study group. It's much more better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you learn better and everything.
And I think the most fun part was the fact that everyone also trying to figure out the same thing together. That was fun because then we are like coming up with different ideas. We brainstorm together, come up with different ideas and go like, hey, I have this idea. Then person go like, hey, I have this other idea. And then that person wrote code and I wrote code and then we decided
we all wrote code together.
Yeah. And then we decided to compete, who's was faster and so on and so forth.
Oh yes, the competition. It's a healthy competition, I would say.
Yeah, it was fun. It was really, really fun. Yeah. So I guess I think it has been quite fun. I think the big obstacles, Kenny, would be that it's all about discipline. Your discipline,
your drive. You gotta keep your motivation up.
Yeah, and then sometimes what may happen is that when you get stuck, which you get stuck all the time.
Yeah. That's always.
So sometimes you may not have someone helping you or being able to guide you through. And sometimes you go Google online and you have no idea. And you see the answers, but you have no idea what happened.
You also gotta have the skills to Google. That's one thing. Not a lot of people know how to Google apparently, but if you know how to Google correctly, then it's good. But it's okay. Next Academy teaches you how to Google. So.
Okay, the biggest myth, right? The biggest myth is this that I've heard. If you are a very good coder, you don't need to Google.
Oh.
True or not? True or false? True or false?
Ayo. Even Mark Zuckerberg is Googling right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't matter how senior you are. If you go to Twitter, you check out all these developers, they also Google. They still Google. That's the reality.
That's the reality.
Yeah.
The reality is that the tech world changes so fast, so much.
Yeah. Every day
that, the only way to keep up, right, is really to learn collectively, and everyone is sharing collectively on Google. You also would be learning collectively.
Yeah.
But the key goal is this, do you know how to find what is suited for you or not? I think that is very crucial. It's not about just taking code out, taking and putting things together. It becomes like random, don't know what kind of food, right?
Yeah.
It's about really taking out and looking at it and say that, would this work in my app or would this work in my code?
It's like a chef, if you're a chef, you want to create a new recipe, you would experiment, and then maybe on the thousandth try, maybe you got it.
Hopefully it doesn't reach 1,000. Right? Okay, guys. So far we are approaching 5 shares. 5 shares.
Woo! Come on, 10 more.
Come on, guys. 10 more. And once this is done, we'll be giving out one of this.
Very nice. Very nice.
This is the one that you guys wear, right, when you guys graduate.
The fabric like Mont Blanc.
Well, that's not LV, then not Mont Blanc.
Oh, okay. The same factory.
Okay, so Timothy Lee just said, even the engineers at Google also Google.
Oh my god.
Exactly! Yes!
Yes.
The quote for the day, even the engineers at Google also Google. That is very, very true.
That's their QC.
Thank you so much, Timothy. You put it out really, really nicely. The
Thank
quote
you.
for the day.
Quote for the day.
Quote for the day. Okay, so the next person asked this question. Kelvin asked, I want to design my own web page and I want to manage it myself. What coding languages should I learn?
3 coding languages usually: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. If you have if you know those 3, then you're good to go already. Yeah.
So those are the key things that you will need to know: HTML, CSS, JavaScript.
Mhm.
And if you want to be able to, fast track your learning, you know what to do. Come to
Next
Next Academy.
Academy.
And join our 2 weeks course, right?
2 weeks course only.
And we will be sure to push you to you, and you have to work hard together with us.
Everyone will be doing the same thing. You'll have mentors to assist you.
Yeah.
It's a great environment, really.
And then we will be there to help you reach your goal. So guys, 2 weeks.
You can build a website better than Apple, hands down.
Really, yeah.
Of course, that depends on the person,
Depends on the person, right?
The foundation is strong, can be anything.
Okay, so yes, if you want to learn how to maintain your own website by yourself, your own web pages by yourself, do come by Next Academy, check out some of our courses. Do give us a call, and we will at least help you figure out if this is what is suited for you.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, so I really love the next question. Is by this person called Francis. Francis asked, should young people learn to code? And what is your advice to a 14-year-old who wants to learn to code? So should young people learn to code, and how would you advise the 14-year-old kid who wants to learn to code?
Well, first I would try to find out that if that 14-year-old kid wants to learn to code, or if he is told to learn to code. It's really different, between those two, because if you're the kid that wants to learn to code, it's easy. You just have to basically give him the materials he needs, and that's practically a kid that knows what he wants. So try to find out what he wants, why he wants to do it, and help him along the way.
Yeah, I think you're definitely true. Like, this is very true, because very often, like my cousin, she is obviously learning to code in school.
Oh,
right?
okay, in school, okay.
In school, in high school, it's very interesting because it's a part of the syllabus right now. And beginning of the year, I remember she coming up to me and saying, "You know what, Audrey, I'm learning how to code right now. It's like, oh, this is gonna be fun. It's gonna be very happy." And recently, I saw her and said, "So, how is your coding experience so far?" And she shook her head and she said, "I don't like it at all."
I don't like it.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think one key thing is, when you're 14 years old, is definitely interest really matters. Right?
Interest really matters, huh?
Yeah, and I think also the way the kid is being taught also do really matters as well. So definitely, learning to code, should young people learn to code. I think the future is going to rely on computers a lot. So it would definitely help, right? But like just what you say is the person interested in it, or is the person being told to it? Yeah, because if the person is interested in it, it becomes so much easier.
Yeah, but if, for example, if he is the other type which is being told to, then you must really actually find his interest. Like, try to build the interest with him. You don't have to push him yet. It's just that you gotta build together with him. Try to find out, and basically from there on, just help him.
I think one, like Francis, I think one of the key questions maybe you could ask your 14-year-old is this: what do you want to be able to do with it? Right? That is the key goal. Like, in fact, Next Academy had we had 14-year-old kids before, like very seldom, but we do have. And first thing we asked, what do you want to build? And this person said, I want to build a game. And then when we are actually teaching this person, the way we encourage it to them is this: coding is just a medium, but so your end goal is that game. So come, let's you have to code and build a game at the end of the day. And he actually built really cool games.
That was that kid that day, right?
Yes,
I saw.
that kid that day, and he was building that, the shooting
Oh, asteroids.
Asteroids game,
Yeah.
by himself.
Oh, and also if okay, for example, if your 14-year-old likes Minecraft, that's a good indication.
Yeah.
Because Minecraft is actually a problem-solving game, which, although at my age I also play. And look where I am now.
In fact, a lot of people when they are around the age, when they are like primary, secondary school, right? If you want them to get interested in programming, start with Minecraft.
Yeah, just get them Minecraft.
Yeah.
What game is this? Just play. You'll see they get stuck on.
It is actually really interesting, and a lot of people, in fact, like in Next Academy, a lot of people who eventually came to learn with us actually wanted to learn to code because they played Minecraft.
Really? Who?
Jeffrey. He played Minecraft, okay?
Okay.
I don't know. He built a hack in Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
But I can't remember what's
You can build calculators in there. You can build a RAM.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
And then when you can do that, it actually helps develop problem-solving skills that will help you in your coding, coding journey.
Yep.
Yeah. So Minecraft. Okay, actually, that's a very good advice to all people who wants your kid to eventually become interested in coding. Please, you can start off with Minecraft.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, we are a few shares away. Yay!
Woo!
So we are approaching 8 shares.
8 shares.
Right? We are approaching 8 shares, guys. Yes. It's almost there. Okay, halfway through. So once we hit 15, we'll be giving out to one of the lucky winner. We'll be randomly ticking, right? See who gets it.
Ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay. So the next question that we have here is by Sri Kanes, right? Sri Kanes asks, I'm 40 years old and I don't have coding knowledge. Can I also learn to code and be good at it? 40 years old, no coding knowledge. Can he learn to code?
Yes, you can. For me, there's actually no age limit if you want to learn something. In general, if you just want to learn something, there's no age limit. So in coding, you definitely can do it. Is there anything you want to add?
I think maybe the big question is also like when you're learning to code, I think like what you say, there is no exact age limit to it, right? But learning to code, you'll be very surprised that it requires you to may require you to change your mindset.
Yeah.
Like just like me, like when I first started learning to code, the way I think is very, very different. And one key thing you definitely need to change, which happens to me,
is how you approach things.
How you approach things and not being afraid of failure.
Yeah.
Because 9 out of 10 times you write code, right? Surely got bug one. It's okay to have bugs. You just need to fix and kill those bugs.
Yes.
Right? In this world, I think for a lot of us, we are taught to not do anything wrong, taught to stay away. Oh, these are wrong, stay away from failure. But in the world of coding, right, failure is not going to stop you. Failure is you having one step closer to your goal.
Yeah, I mean, aside from coding, also it also applies in life. I mean, if you want to be successful, I mean, you've heard this quote. I mean, if you want to be successful, you gotta go through countless failures. And for me, is that I would assume that if you're old enough, you would probably have a hard time trying to learn new things. It probably could be because of the age or maybe because of the experiences that you had. So what I would advise is that regardless of how old you are, always humble yourself to accept new knowledges, because like Audrey said, the mindset in coding is totally, I would say, different than maybe what you're doing, because it requires you to problem solve and be persistent. Yeah, because you go through a lot of loophole. I mean, lubang-lubang jalan.
Lubang-lubang jalan.
Potholes.
Okay. Yuki asked, coding,
Hi,
is
Yuki.
it... Hi, Yuki. Oh, we're going to be answering you, Yuki, now. Okay, coding, is it a must-do and practice it consistently daily? Do you need to do it consistently daily? So maybe let's start off with that. Is it something that if you want to be good at it, do you need to work on it every single day?
Not really. From my experience is that in a week, I would usually code like about I would say close to 10 to 15 hours. I would say 10 or 20 hours. And what I usually do more other than that is that I like to read blogs, medium.com. I want to know more about coding. I'm not doing the coding, but I want to know more of the coding. So meaning that once you have that knowledge about the programming language that you're doing, your passion will grow even more because you're starting to understand deeply about the coding, about the language. Yeah.
I think for Yuki, one key thing is also this. It really depends on what stage you're at. For example, if you are a beginner and you just started off, think of coding as using a language. If today you ask me to speak French, right? I actually learned French before. I go class once a week for 1 year.
Very good.
I cannot even speak a single sentence of French except for ça va,
Omelette do fromage.
Très bien. That's it. Okay. I can't even say anything more, right? But the key thing when you're starting out is you want to be able to practice daily. For me, is you want to be able to practice daily so that it becomes muscle memory.
Yes. Muscle memory.
But once you reach the point where it becomes muscle memory, then you may not be coding every single day. Then you'll be like him, reading other things, reading blogs, looking at other coding blogs as well.
Right.
So then he doesn't spend necessarily too much time.
Yeah. Okay. From that standpoint, then I rephrase. When I graduated from Next Academy, yes, I did code every day. Now that you mention it, I usually code. Let's say.
For 40 hours a week.
More like about 50 hours sometimes, but it varies. Sometimes I do it in the morning, sometimes I do it in the afternoon, sometimes 4 a.m. also I still couldn't sleep because I'm just too excited to build stuff. It's like your excitement is that you just have to use it. It's like a fuel, and once it burns out, don't worry, read more stuff. Read,
relax and read. Yeah.
But one key thing is just don't get burned out.
I think that's very crucial.
Yeah, don't get burned out. Yeah. Know when to take know when to take a break. Yeah.
So someone asked, okay, is it, Yuki, your second part of your question is it compulsory to learn in class, or can Yuki go on online courses?
Okay. So that one is actually really depends on you on how you can do it, because there are some people that can't do it via online, meaning they can't do through the laptop alone or maybe with friends or anything. But some people go to classes because they know that they're around people that are going through the same thing, and they also have mentors to assist them. And so like right now also I am also mentoring 2 of my friends into coding, and usually what I would do is that I would make them go through online courses, and when they have a problem they can reach me out. So that's how I do it. But I'm not the type of person who opens up a textbook, okay, nombor 1, okay, apple warna apa. No, not like that. I would want them to like find out themselves.
Yeah, I think for you, Yuki, if you want to try out coding, the first step, I do encourage you to actually go online and self-learn first, right?
Try yourself first.
Yeah, try yourself first, because the first thing you need to figure out is this: people always have this thing. Do they like the idea of coding because coding is very cool? Wow, all the text.
Ready coding.
Unicorn. Okay.
Wow.
But when it comes to really sitting down and code, that can be a very different thing altogether.
Yeah.
So what I do encourage you is, in fact, I do encourage a lot of the students or the people who want to come into Next Academy. First, go and it's okay. Go and explore. Go online and try things out, right?
Yeah.
And then see if learning online is something that you can do. Right?
Yeah, true.
And because our option over here is the fact that there will be mentors. Your mentor guided. You also have friends who work things through.
We also have very great resources.
Yeah, you also have resources, right? A very structured resources.
Structured resources.
So the goal here is to create an environment as well as to to have the resource for you to reach there.
Yes.
But the question for you is also like, maybe for you, learning online by yourself is totally fine.
Yes.
Right? It was not fine for me.
Some people actually can do it. I've met people who learn by themselves.
I know like a few people who manage to learn by themselves. You can do that, right? Like, but if you're like me, then a bit susah. I think for me, which is why in the end I decided that one key thing if you're learning to code, discipline is a must.
Oh yes.
You need to have discipline. You need to be consistent. You cannot just say I learned to code today. 1 week later, you come back and you look at the things again. You won't remember one. Or I don't remember.
Yeah. True.
I forgot. Then I need to relearn everything again.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my journey, my coding journey.
Yeah.
And if you're not like me, if you have the consistency to do things every single day, be consistent about it, then maybe learning online is the path that you can take.
I think what you can also do, like, which helps you, is set a goal in front, lah. Like, my friend that I'm teaching to code right now, he wants to build a game. So I put in front of him like that, like just like a carrot on a stick. Okay, so you want to build a game, so you gotta learn this. So that's what keeps him going. That's what makes him. It's easy for him to like learn stuff. So set a goal in front of you, lah.
Yeah, I think like what you said, have a goal in mind, right?
Have a goal in mind.
Yeah, it will help you get. Help you get through your life, get through everything, but have a goal in mind.
I mean, sometimes the goal no need to be coding related also can. Maybe it's not a product, maybe it's something that could benefit something else. For example, your family business or investing, or probably anything that is different than coding lah. Because a lot of people, even though they're in corporate or something, usually they would learn themselves. They would try to understand what this coding thing is, so that when they're in their occupational place, they would understand what people are doing, so we can assess better.
Okay, guys, if you guys have more questions, right, be it on Facebook or on Instagram, feel free to ask us those questions.
Yes.
And because you're going to be getting feedback from him as well. He's an alumni. He has been through the journey. He started with no coding knowledge, and then today he's leading a team, building Vase.AI. So very, very exciting. By the way, Vase.AI is also used by government to get like.
Oh yes, right? Yes.
Yeah, it's being used everywhere.
Maxis, DG. BAT if you're a smoker.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, a lot of big businesses, because data is very crucial nowadays, and they want to know what the consumers want. So we have that lah.
So guys, definitely drop those questions. Feel free to ask those questions, because this is a chance for you to reach out to him.
Yeah.
Right?
Don't if you want to ask personal questions also can.
Oh, like what? Are you single?
No one's asking, so I don't know.
Okay. Maybe someone can ask. Okay. Sorry. So okay. Raisdan asked, how does coding play a role in the future? Right? How do you see the future? Like, right? We have been saying tech, industry 4.0. How do you think coding and the future, ties in hand in hand?
Okay, so usually how someone sees the future is throughout themselves. Like, for example, me, I would see a lot of things being automated, making life more convenient, sometimes overly convenient. But there will always be a team of people that will handle that would do maintenance towards those automations. So from there on, if we can see there are more automations happening in the future, we're going through the modern infrastructure thing. Of course, the demand for people that know how to code will rise up. Yeah.
Okay. I think for me, the thing is this: the future is going to be very reliant on a lot of tech, right? That's how we're going to see. That's how I see those things, right? I know that there are a lot of fear, like, oh, if you don't know the code, you will lose your job, so on and so forth. I mean, I don't know, right? Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. Everyone is just, basing off of prediction.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for me, if you think about it, right, with computer, it has brought in so much changes, so much technology advancement that we never had 10 years ago. Today we have it, right? We never had 20 years ago. Today we have it. And it was made possible because, more and more people are able to code.
Yeah.
So I think the future, people can say a lot of things about the future, but the future still needs to be built, right? And the best way to build the future is, is for you, when you know how to code, put and you yourself, right, Rajdan, you yourself, you are also a very creative person, right? Every one of us is creative in nature.
Yes.
We have something we want to build. The question is, instead of it being just an idea, right now when you know how to code, you can bring it to reality.
Bring it to reality.
And that's how people build the future. For
Yeah.
example, Vase.AI. Before Vase.AI,
But you want to say Elon Musk?
Elon Musk.
Okay. Vase.AI.
Yeah. So I was working in the industry before, where we run a lot of surveys. You know what kind of how do we do our surveys back then? Is I actually went out there and get surveys. So one session is about 1 hour, right? And the survey was about 100 over questions. It was this thick, okay? And then we needed to look for I think 50 or 100 people to survey this thick, okay? 1 hour per person.
Okay.
How many hours? 100 hours, right?
Holy shit. Okay.
And we needed to finish it up within 1 week or 1.5 weeks. I can't remember.
Okay. What was the survey about?
Last time I was working in the tobacco industry. Okay. So we actually needed to go out, search for people, get the survey, do it one by one, face to face, and write down those answers. You tell me, I give you option A, B, or C, or this one, or this one. Then you need to tell me, right? And it took 2 to 3 months before anything concrete can come in, before the company can come up with a report.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you have to process it, everything.
You have to process the data, key in the data, process the data, and so on. But right now, yes, Vase.AI who's able to give you 1,000 responses in just 1 week.
Yes.
Can you see the big difference over there?
We can go faster.
You can even go faster. Last time was 3 months, probably only 500 reports. Less than that. Yeah. Right? Less than that. But now we have 1 week and you get 1,000 applicants and
respondents.
Respondents.
Yes.
So that's why I say the future is for you to create, right? People can say a lot of things like, oh, how is it going to be automated and everything? That's because someone else is creating that future, because someone else who knows how to code is creating that future. So for you, it's also, hey, what can you create if you know how to code?
So basically, when you have an idea, don't think the idea will only pop out in you. Maybe like amongst millions of people, there are 100 people that also has the same idea. And amongst that 100 of people, there might be one that would start a company or start something and make it real. Yeah.
I honestly have a question for you guys. Have any of you guys think of an idea and then suddenly look at someone, hey, that person built my idea?
I think I've went through it twice already.
I have quite a number of times now. Like, hey, someone built my idea. Hey,
I had an idea though, like that time Uber was hot, so I was like, maybe we should do Uber for documents, like send documents for like corporate clients because they can't go anywhere. And I saw Lalamove does that. And I saw, I think Kaudim does that.
Yeah,
Kaudim. So I'm like, GoGet does that. I'm like,
Yeah. You know what's the difference here? The difference is that, like for example, about me, when I'm dreaming about the ideas, someone decided to execute it. Okay, so that's one thing. Okay, Yuki, why not like this? You can also PM us, share with us your email, and then we can, because you're asking for resources, we can also send you some of the resources that we have as well.
Can.
Yeah. Okay. So guys, remember to share.
Share. Come on, share.
Right, share.
You gotta share.
Okay.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. And in the meantime, if you have any more questions, feel free to drop us those questions.
Yes.
Okay. But now let's just head on to the next one.
Can. All right.
Okay, the next question is by Azure.
Microsoft Azure.
Sila Azure.
Okay.
And Sila Azure asks, how hard is it to build an app? So subjective.
Yeah,
okay. Let me start.
It depends. All right. So first, I would really ask you is that, do you have an idea for the app? Secondly, is that do you already have a roadmap written down to build the app, assuming that you know coding lah, or you know how to program it? If those two are covered, then I would say it's not really. It's still hard because of the of all the problems that you will go through, assuming that this would be your first app. So you'll go through problems, you'll go through how to like start it up. You go to like you'll have to like think about how to put it inside your phone, how to upload it into the App Store or Play Store. So those kind of things you will have to go through. But if for example, if you know what you want it to be like when it's finished, you can persist. Yeah.
Okay.
Like some people, they would say like, okay, I want to build an app, but it's so hard. Then when I ask them the first question, like, what app you want to build, they don't know. Then of course it's hard because you haven't gotten to the part where you want to build what you want to build.
Yeah, very true. So like, yeah, I think when for you, when you're building your app for your first time, nothing is going to be easy for the first time. Just like learning to code for the first time, it's never going to be easy. I would say practice makes perfect, but at the same time, it really depends on what kind of apps you want to build. Right?
Like Next Academy.
Yeah.
They told that we can build an Airbnb app. At first, I was like, whoa, that's big. That's big. There's a lot. There's like payment stuff and all that. But yeah, we managed to do it. And surprisingly, if you know the roadmap, you can do it. Really.
Yeah. So basically, after you build it once, you're like, it's actually quite easy.
Quite easy. Like I can build 10 more.
Yeah. Yeah. So actually, Airbnb, Instagram, they're not the hardest. They are quite easy to build. To be told. But the first time will be tough. But eventually, you realize that hey, it's actually doable. It's not that hard. I think eventually when you start thinking about bigger things, like people ask like, how is it like to build Grab? Oh, okay, how is it like to build Vase.AI? Okay, tell me comparatively, Vase.AI versus Airbnb.com. Okay, which one is, because you built Airbnb before, you also built Vase.AI before. Okay, you built both them. Okay, can you tell us, in terms of tough, which one is difficult, which one is easier? What are your thoughts?
Okay, this is a tricky question because maybe some of the people in Vase.AI are standbying on their phone. Well, I would say, of course, Airbnb would be tougher because of the large data, and also they have to take care of the payment gateway. They would also, comparatively, they have a bigger offices. They have a lot more resources. So.
No, but think about it. We don't say it in this way. Like today, if I say, hey, can you build an Airbnb? Also, can you build Vase.AI?
Okay.
So it's not about them. It's about you asking you to build it.
Okay. I mean, it would be easy to build Airbnb, of course.
But maybe you could share with people why do you think? I mean, what makes it so different? Like because I think for Sila, right? She would need to know why is some apps harder to build than the others? Why are some apps easier to build? So for you now, we use Airbnb as well as Vase as a comparison, right? If you were to build both of them from scratch today, right? What are your thoughts?
Okay. Let me just rephrase my answer. The answer would be Vase because
Vase is easier or tougher?
No, Vase is tougher. Because I can see that one is that you gotta collect. Okay, since you're doing surveys, right? We have this one survey that goes for our first respondents every time. First time they sign in, it's called welcome survey. So welcome survey will include questions about yourself. Okay, like what car are you driving? You have a credit card, debit card, how many kids you have, your occupation. So those are, I would say, it's not an open. They're not open-ended questions, but they're more like auto-suggestible questions. I'll just start with the survey. To find auto-suggestible questions, you will have to find the right nooks. You got to find through the nooks and crooks to find a data sets of, for example, all the occupations around the world. You have to fit it in one. You have to fit it in one file, and just put it inside there so it can be an auto-suggestible text box. So once you get that thing going on, you will have to understand how to transfer those data, those answers into readable data. Okay, so from raw data to readable data, and that would include 2 services. Okay, and then from there, you have to send it to 2 places, one to your client dashboard and one for the our operations team to check and basically create a much more readable data via graphs and everything. So I would say it's not easy, but it's not impossible.
So guys, like, just think about it. I think for you guys, because you're getting a lot of data points, right? So you also need to know, hey, if this question is suited for this person, right? There's something that you need to constantly
yes, we have to figure out also.
Yeah. And if this question is suited with this person, doesn't mean that just because I'm a girl, then I'm suited for it. There is multiple things that they need to know before they can suggest a particular question to you.
Hence the reason why we do welcome survey, so that if we know a person is Muslim, so we won't send you surveys about Carlsberg or anything.
Yeah.
So if you're a non-smoker, so we won't send any BAT related surveys. So we filter people from there.
Yeah. So I think there is that as well. And when you're dealing with so much data, thinking about cleaning data, analyzing data, and visualizing data. Those kind of things are quite a bit of stuff. So so it really depends. Like Sila, really to answer your question, it really depends on what you want to build, right? Like today, if you want to build something like Airbnb, that is actually pretty simple. But if you want to build additional features like what Vase.AI have, right? Auto suggestion related stuff, as well as data cleaning, visualizing, everything all in. Those things are a lot more complex.
Complex,
right? Complex, man. Okay, guys, if you have more questions, right, do drop in those questions, right? We want to be able to answer them for you. In the meantime, do share.
Share, don't forget to share.
15. Okay. We have another question by Zuhilmi, and Zuhilmi asks, is coding easy to understand if I don't have any background in programming? So I think this is a very big question that a lot of people ask. I have no background in programming. Can I code?
Cannot. Can.
Yeah, he has no background in programming. He was a real estate agent.
Abang mau beli rumah. That's the only thing that I know how to say. You mau beli rumah. That's all.
Yeah.
So what was the question again? Is it easy? Is it
easy to understand if he has no coding knowledge at all?
Oh, of course, it's hard. It's hard. That's why you gotta learn it. You gotta like basically initiate yourself to start learning all of this weird looking stuff, because by the end of the day, you would not by the end of the day as in one day, as in by the end of the time when you already know what coding is, things will be very familiar. But at first, of course, it's like listening to a foreign language. If someone speaks to you in Latin, you'll be like,
what is he talking about?
What? Nani?
Yeah. It's really like learning a new language altogether, right? Nothing is easy. Learning a new skill is not easy. Ask me to play piano today,
you cannot.
I cannot, right?
Cannot.
I need to learn. Ask me to play violin, I also need to go and learn. It's not going to be easy, but it's not impossible.
Yes.
Right? 70 to 80% of I think next academic graduates actually started with zero coding knowledge. Very minimal.
Including me.
Right? Including me as well. Yeah. But the question is that, just because they started with zero coding knowledge doesn't mean that they cannot do it. He did it 1 year, and today he's a team lead, right? Really cool, honestly speaking.
Okay lah.
Yeah. So I think those are the very crucial thing, right? So what is stopping you? Because even today, all those everyone who started programming actually never knew about programming before they start programming, right? And that is the fact of life, right? Those people who go to uni, right, take a degree, come up with a CS degree, before they go into uni, a lot of them has zero coding knowledge as well. And you don't need to compare yourself with them after they get a CS degree. You don't need to compare yourself. What you need to do is that you were at the same point of time when they were first starting to learn how to code. They also started like you, asking themselves, is coding something that I want to do, right? And it was possible for them. It was possible for a lot of our students. A lot of our students are in their mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s, had zero coding knowledge, coming up from different background, real estate agent, pharmacies. We also have drop out, we have waiters.
I drop out also.
Oh, you drop out also.
Terasa.
We also have DJs, right?
Oh.
Zero coding knowledge, and today they are coders. Today they're doing really interesting things out there. And I think that's the reason why we have this webinar. It's so that all of you guys can see that, hey, it is possible. And all these alumni are coming back to share with you their stories as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe for you, what are some of the big myths that you find in programming that people always have about programming?
Okay.
About programmers, for example.
People think programmers are like those hackers in movies. Just like
Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot. Mr. Robot is actually, it's very close to reality lah. But like some of those that are so weird with big numbers in their screens, so they think that if you're a programmer, you can hack. Actually, no. But if you are going through that route, then it's possible. Yeah.
So everyone thinks that programmer means hacker.
Wow.
It's very different. Okay?
Like hack your Facebook.
Very, very different. It's a different discipline altogether, I think, right?
Yeah, it's very different.
Right. But if you want to hack someone, you would likely need to learn how to code. That's the key thing. But if you know how to code, doesn't mean that you are a hacker. Is there any other myth?
Let's see. What? While I'm thinking, you give one.
Okay. The one that I think of is all the programmers are usually geeks.
No.
Look at him, he's so cool.
No, I'm a geek.
He sell real estate.
What?
He sell real estate, guys. Does he look like a geek? Probably a bit now, no,
I'm a bit now lah.
Yeah.
Programmers are not geeks lah. I mean, I have friends who look like supermodels and they code.
And they code, right?
I'm like, what?
This is very interesting. Timothy Lee says something. I love this. Everyone thinks that programmers fix computers, especially my aunties. Yes.
I can so relate to you, brother. I can so relate to you. I think it happened last week. I'm like, just doing my stuff, just browsing Facebook. Then my mom comes say, "Hey, abang, macam mana nak repair ni Macam kenapa tak boleh on Windows abang programmer kan?"
Yeah, that's life.
That's life.
That's life.
Yeah.
Guys, the myth of the programming myth. Okay, also, what are some of the advice that you want to give to people who want to learn to code?
Advice.
What are the advice that you want to give to people who want to learn to code?
If you want to learn to code, do it.
Oh, just do it.
Yeah. Just do it. I mean, if you already thought of like wanting to code, do it. Don't procrastinate, because once you're good at coding, you can procrastinate the hell you want afterwards.
Yeah, I think this is very interesting.
It's very deep.
Yeah, cause recently I was interviewing someone who wants to learn to code, right? And then we do have, depending on which course you take, you do have an interview process, right? And then I was looking at this person, I was like, oh, this person actually first registered with us 3 years ago, and then today this person wants to learn to code.
Oh, okay.
Right? So very interesting. And then I thought about it, and this person was not the only one, right? I have a couple of others as well who actually wanted to code, 2 years ago, and then later on they came over and they code, and then the thing they say is this: oh my god, I wish that I actually started 2 years ago when I first registered with you guys, right? Instead of waiting 2 years later, then only I start coding. right? So so don't procrastinate, right? Like
Time is an essence.
The person procrastinated for 2 years, and then eventually he came to learn to code, but he waited for 2 years.
I mean, if I can turn back time, obviously I would start coding at 18, man. Really.
But I think for you also you found like maybe you needed to go through those things to realize that this is something that you want to do, right? But if you have already realized that it is something that you want to do, then don't wait. Like for him, he didn't know about it until your friend told you there's more to life than gaming. Then you start thinking about it. But
she gives a lot of deep shit. It's like things that you can go out of space to think, right?
So you should say thank you to her.
Say thank you already.
Okay, say
Bawa makan already.
Bawa makan already. You changed my life. So I think so don't wait, get started, right? And I think that is the very, very crucial thing. And so one more thing, right? If you want to, for people who eventually learn to code and want to work at Vase.AI.
Oh yes, we are hiring.
You're hiring.
All right, flexing CK.
Maybe tell them what are you looking for again?
All right, so basically our company, I'm just gonna explain from the tech side. We're looking for software engineers, data analysts, database, or basically if you're good at coding, let us know. We can fit you right in. And we also, from other departments, we are opening as well for sales, for account exec, and all those.
Nice.
We're constantly looking for people because we are growing our company.
Yuki asked another question. Is it possible to design own phone application by learning to code? What? Wait, we're running out of battery. Leave it on.
If you code something, you can build a script to like turn it on again. Coding.
1% left. Okay. Yuki, let's answer your question.
Yes.
Is it possible to design a mobile application by learning to code? What software can you use to learn it, to build it?
All right, that's a good question because currently I'm developing apps for iOS and Android as well. And basically I started from like Next Academy, right? So what software is it, she asked?
Is it possible, and is there a certain software?
It's possible, and actually there are no softwares because basically you just need a text editor where you do all your coding. I mean, you can also build it with Notepad if you want, but there are some other text editors. So it is possible, really, it's possible.
I think, as mentioned, right, Yuki, so just think about it this way. Learning to code, it means being able to talk to your computer, to get your computer to do things for you.
Yes.
Right? Your computer can build apps for you. Your computer can build web apps, can build mobile apps for you. Your computer can do data science for you. Machine learning, build games for you. Your computer is so powerful.
It's a modern slave.
It's a modern slave, but the thing is this, the slave, right? Okay, this computer slave needs very explicit instruction. You need to tell one by one, step by step what you want it to do. So yes, it is possible to design your own phone application by learning to code. In fact, a lot of our students actually do it themselves as well. Sometimes they go and build web apps. Then later on, they also go and explore mobile apps, which is iOS or Android apps as well. And what software? There isn't actually really a software.
There's no software lah.
Like the thing is this: if there is in the market there are people who market this like, now you can just
there are apps for that.
And then we will change it into an app for you. Those things are not okay. Those things are just basically if you ever use those things, you cannot build your own special features. You just need to follow strictly what they have, right? But if you want to build something from scratch with features that the world have never seen before, then you actually need to learn to code. There is no special software for it. You need to literally build it up yourself.
So, like from my point of view, if you're using a software like, for example, like that sort of app where you can just drag and drop stuff onto the screen and then it'll turn into an app, it's actually good. It's a good starting point. But once you want to expand or you want to scale that application to be much more feature rich. For example, you want to add stuff in, then it will be hard. Yeah, special features. That will be hard for you because you have to go through the same process again. And sometimes it really depends on the limitation of the software. Sometimes that software can do it, sometimes it can't do it. So having to know the source code of how everything works by coding is very beneficial because you can actually build it from ground up and you don't need any special softwares. I mean, in fact, you can build a software that does that, in the future. Who knows?
Yeah. Basically, there are certain things that are very simple to build, right? Where sometimes people build certain solutions out there. But if you say you want to build another Grab, okay, I'm sorry, today you want to build another Grab, no software can help you.
Better grab the opportunity. I'm just kidding.
You need to build it yourself, right? For example, you want to build another Netflix, you want to build another YouTube, right? Those things, there is no software that can help you. You actually need to build from scratch. I do know that there are a lot of people who try to sell, you just one click and then you suddenly, this software will just suddenly miraculously come out for you. Yeah, there are some of those things, but those things are not customizable. You cannot add another feature. Like suddenly, I want to add this special feature, like the Grab feature. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work that way.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I mean,
That's
if there is such software, and I mean, everyone would be Grab owners.
Yeah, true. Actually, very, very true. Everyone will be Grab owners, but yeah, no.
I mean, I would say being someone who knows how to program is like, it's like holding up a great title because not everyone can code, but if you can code, shit, he can code, he can talk to computers.
Yeah, I wonder what he's whispering. I think, okay, so guys, like right now, we are almost at the end of the session, and we only reached 10 shares, guys. 10 shares. We are 5 away. So sad.
Come on.
But never mind. There's always next time.
There's always next time.
Next time when you have the opportunity to get this instant quotient. Okay. But yeah, I do hope that it helps every one of you guys to really understand what coding is all about, because it's very true. A lot of people are swamped with a lot of what media talk about coding. Yes, definitely, it's amazing, it's fun. Sometimes it's very scary. Media say, jobs will be automated, everyone's gonna lose their job. And then sometimes suddenly you start seeing people saying like, this person know the code and now he built his own startup that makes God knows how many million a year, right, or a month. There are a lot of stories, right? The question you need to ask yourself is, can you push all the voices away and try to figure out for yourself if coding is something you want to do or not.
Yeah.
Right? It's not something where you just go like, fancy, let's take, certain things maybe yes you can do it, but coding is one of those things where it requires a lot of effort on your end, a lot of brain power. Yeah, a lot of brain power on your end, and a lot of determination on your end to make it work for you. So guys, if you want to learn to code, just do it.
Go to Next Academy.
Come. Yeah. Okay, but thank you so much for all of you guys who have stayed tuned with us.
Thank you.
I do hope that if you know someone who can benefit from this interview, do share with them so that they would know a lot more about what is coding about, right? And thank you so much for sharing with us your experience and also about Vase. Right? For all of you guys, go check out Vase.AI.
Vase.AI.
Maybe you want to spell it out for people.
Alright, so if you guys are interested to become the respondents of the...
Earn money, right? Respondent.
Can earn money. Basically,
earn money.
If you do surveys, you will earn rewards in terms of cash. So you can go to getvase.com, getvase.com. Or if you want to check out the company itself, it's Vase.AI. Yeah. So I'm handling getvase.ai. So if there's any problems, please let me know.
Okay, if any bug happens, you know who to look for. I will just say, hey, why is my money not coming in?
Oh no.
Yeah. So guys, another thing, if you want to earn extra income, right? Just need to answer a few questions. Just answer a few survey questions, right? You can get some money already.
Yeah.
Look for him, right? Yeah. If the money didn't come to you, you know who to look for. You know his face money. That's him.
Oh no.
Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your time. And
Thank you.
Lawrence, FJ Lim, thank you so much for coming and
Thank
tuning
you.
in. You guys could check out, the replay and
The replay.
see some of the things that, that
Yes.
may answer your questions relating to coding.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much for everything.
Thank you for having me here.
Bye,
Thank
Instagram
you.
people. And
Bye-bye.
thank you. Bye-bye. Okay, let's end this.